it was the Wild West in Hawaii when I was a kid going there. Like I got belted by a dude named Roadblock like once, shaved my head the next day and like dyed my hair or something. I was like, it was so gnarly Hawaii as a kid, so intimidating, but also just like the best place on earth.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, yeah, Lawless, like kind of like Indo in a sense, but like with way more cocaine, more guns, less spirituality, um, and like this kind of seething racial tension between like natives and colonizers, and just like and then you've got all these foreign, like blonde-haired Aussies coming over for a slice of the pie, and it's like you cunts aren't even in the conversation, like fucking. Like
No,
just fucking have your hands up, like guarding your chin at all times, and
yeah.
like just watch out because yeah, like you don't factor here, and if you think you're gonna cop a hiding, guaranteed. Oh, it's like heavy situation.
Yeah, thankfully back then it was only the mags. Like it wasn't quite the digital age, and so like you know the way that you survived there was you didn't really want to stand out too much. You definitely didn't want to drop in. Definitely didn't want to try and like hook up with someone's ex or anything like that. And so everyone just we all pretty much we had these little like hideouts of Aussie houses in places, and then you just like linked up with the Aussie photographers. It was like, right, spawn, we're shooting off the wall at like tomorrow morning, and you'd rock up there, stand in a couple of closeouts, you end up with a half page or a full page, and you're like, job done. Surf the comp. But yeah, it was just like there was just this crazy energy, and like, I mean, it was like, yeah, you loved it as well. It was just
Oh,
this. Every day was 6 foot at least. You're riding big boards, and it was just this, yeah, magical time.
well, that's it. The waves there are unbelievable. And you're also at a time where, comparatively to now, like surfing's fairly uncrowded. Localism actually can be helpful at times. Just gives you
Mm.
something to work off, some goalposts. So fuck, man. Like, and you guys back in the day too, you guys were doing mega stints over there, which is sick. Like, I feel like, especially like as a teenager, that was just it's our summer here. You may as well go like post up in Hawaii for like a month, or longer, which is
Yeah,
so sick.
that was the norm back then. Like, and I mean, I think it was probably paved by even going all the way back to your rabbits
Mm.
and Elcos and Tom Carrolls. Like you know, you weren't in Australia in the summer. It was blowing northerly and 3 foot. So get to the North Shore. And so, yeah, from like, I think 16, I used to spend a month there every year. I think like my first two trips, I was with Sage Josky, like Heath's older brother. And we used to go and stay at backyards with the Parker family, right there, jump the wall and, you're out backyards, run down to Sunset Point, Rusty Pushy if you want to go to Pipe. And so, yeah, but all the Aussies were doing that. Like it was at least a month. And I think that was sort of a big part of like probably why, it just, there was like there's some formative years there where all the Aussies were getting used to that sort of heavy water, gnarly lineup negotiation. And, we learnt some respect. We learnt how to ride a big board um, and it had to be done. Like Hawaii was the end of the tour for the QS and the CT. So, it was just one of those places that you had to go and work out.
Mm. And like, who was running the pipeline up in those days? Like, I imagine you got your Tamayo Perrys and guys like that. Like Mike and Derek Ho would have been still pretty active. Oh, it's probably like the Wolfpack era though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like earlier than that, it probably wasn't. But yeah, like the years that are most memorable to me, it was definitely the Wolfpack era, like the Volcom House right there. I mean, all the houses were there, but the Volcom House seemed to be where the most noise came from. Like guys like Kalar, like the gnarly guys that were, as good as at throwing fists as they were, catching sets. And so, yeah, it was gnarly. You'd hear the whistle. Like I used to stay at the O'Neill house a few doors up, and you just hear the whistle. And if you weren't in the water, you just run out into the deck to see what was going down. And like a few minutes later, someone was getting belted in the shore.
Fuck.
You're just hoping it wasn't one of your mates or someone you knew, or. Um, thankfully it never was. But yeah, it was a full on. It was full on, but I probably wouldn't change it, you know.
Ain't that swell with Jed
And Vaughn.
Oh, those guys are back!